Thanks again, April. During the last session of the Rhode Island General Assembly, both chambers addressed a curious loophole in the law requiring convicted sex offenders to register their status. A law has been on the books for some time requiring that designated sex offenders register with the police department in the town in which they live within 24 hours of taking up residence. There may not be 100% compliance with that requirement, but if it comes to light, there are criminal sanctions which come into play. There's an interesting loophole in this requirement, however, and it was first identified by the Alliance for Safe Communities. Executive Director Carolyn Medeiros pointed out that if an inmate of the ACI is released to a therapy center or a homeless shelter for transition, they are not going to a permanent residence. In practice, most such homeless pedophiles ignore the reporting requirement, either out of defiance or shame. A bill proposed in both the House and the Senate this past session would have added a requirement for the administration of the shelter or residence center to notify the authorities that there was now another designated sex offender living in their jurisdiction. The House version was held for further study, despite the fact that Speaker Mattiello had been vocal about the problem in the past. 3 years ago, he had promised a citizens group in Cranston that he would institute a cap of just 5 registered sex offenders at Harrington Hall in the city at any one time. The latest number reported by that facility was 49 as the total population of those offenders today. So apparently Mr. Mattiello had a change of course. In the Senate, though, the companion bill, S-2319, received the attention of the Judiciary Committee there and emerged as a sub-A version. In the melee of Final Friday this year, that bill passed the Senate and was sent to the House. House leadership was unwilling to bring it to the floor, despite the fact that it simply corrects a defect in the existing statute. By House leadership, of course, I mean the Speaker. It's a mystery. Harrington House is in the Speaker's district. The presence of a large number of unreported sex offenders poses a direct problem to his own constituents. Halfway houses, homeless shelters, and residential treatment facilities have an administrative process for client intake in place. The proposed new law would only have required them to read one more field on the package they already receive from the agencies that refer their clients. It would have been easy to alert local departments to the exact size of the potential community policing challenge posed by a concentration of these offenders. Now, though, it will be at least another year before municipal authorities and local neighbors have any hope of being notified of the size of this population as is required by law. Ready, fire, aim. Or have I missed something here? April?